A marriage of minds can create beautiful things. A journey where passion meets purpose, where dreams are built together, and where every challenge is conquered as a team. In this inaugural episode of Jugalbandi Partners in Sync, we explore the lives of couples who are together in business and in marriage. To understand the key to building healthy relationships at workplace and at home. Meet Sushma and Pramod Gaikwad, entrepreneurs, visionaries, and co-founders of ICE Global, an event management company that has grown from strength to strength under their able hands and reached the big milestone of 25 years. This coincides with their over 2 decades of marriage. Here is a couple that has cracked the code of sustaining relationships at home and at work. Sushma, a leadership coach and an educator in skill building and experiential communication. Pramod, a strategist and innovator in brand management and communication.
I am with Pramod and Sushma Gaikwad at a juncture where they have completed 25 years almost of setting up a business together. And here is a couple who have 2 kinds of marriages going for them. One is a marriage at work, and of course, a marriage, a partnership, and they have a son together. I want to ask Pramod and Sushma this question about partnership to begin with. How do you make it work? I mean, people say marriages don't work. Marriages are failing because it's so difficult for 2 people to come in sync.
Correct.
2 people, good people, understanding people with all their values in place fail to make it together. How do you make it happen in 2 different aspects and for this long, Sushma?
I think because the perspective when we got into the relationship, whether it was the business or whether it was the marriage, the perspective we had is we've got to make it work.
The
intention was clear. There was no backing out. There was no we're going to revisit this relationship, or there's not I'm going to quit when I feel like it. So I mean, it sounds really very strange when I'm about to tell her. May I tell her about the guidelines?
Please.
Oh, please.
Yeah. So we actually sat and we created a guideline sheet for our relationship. Of what is important to us, how we're going to be respectful to each other, how we will ensure that we're each other's voice of reason, and how we'll ensure that we both of us listen to each other. You won't believe it. It's actually, we wrote it down as a document.
As when you in your younger self?
When we were younger self, 25 years ago.
Oh my
Both
God.
we did it. It was called the Sunshine Rules for the workplace, right? And it was called Guidelines for our relationship.
How nice.
Yeah.
Why don't you publish it? It will be very useful for young couples.
Everyone to comment on.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. So actually what really worked
Yeah.
for the Afrida was the fact that we met a little late in life. In a sense of maturity levels. We weren't yuppie and we weren't experimenting or whatever. We were little mature. So we realized what we want out of life.
Yeah.
So our guidelines are very, very clear that no matter what, respect comes for each other has to be top notch. Right? There's got to be trust. Because we both travel a lot, we both work in different spheres, we're in different cities, at different times. So we had these basic guidelines saying, come what may, these things are going to hold sacrosanct. And I think what we discovered off late is the magic is acceptance.
Wow, that's
Because
so beautiful.
as we mature over the past 20 plus years, it's a moving goalpost, right? She's evolving, she's changing, I'm changing. We aren't the same people who met 20 odd years ago.
Yeah, and you accept those imperfections.
And we have
you
to
accommodate.
accept the changes that we go through. Sushma grew from a different industry, had aspirations, moved into a different industry. So she's changed as a person, she changed in a career. So I've also changed simultaneously in a different way.
Yeah.
So I think acceptance has been one of the things we discovered of late. That apart from our guidelines, I think acceptance really worked.
Acceptance, one of the big takeaways, and I do understand what you say that sometimes what happens is we become rigid with what we want and with what we accept. That flexibility as we grow older, I guess becomes difficult. Either we don't want to extend those boundaries because sometimes do you think or do both of you feel that again it requires you to want that person badly enough in your life to extend those boundaries to accommodate? I mean, you have to love that person enough, isn't it? How do you otherwise make it happen? I mean, why are people rigid? Why don't they accommodate? Why don't they become flexible and accept? Why is acceptance missing?
I think a lot of it has got to do, in my perspective, it's got to do a lot with the experience, the backgrounds you come from. Yeah, if you come and the decisions you take or the choices you make based on the backgrounds. Like sometimes you see people who come from backgrounds that have experienced no love, and a family life that has no love. But when they grow up, they decide, you know, I am going to ensure that there is love in my home. Or they just fit into the pattern of no love, and they continue that. So I think it's got to do a lot with your own personal experience and the choice and the decisions you make for your own life. If your decision is to live a life of happiness, or choice is to live a life of happiness, joy, everyone who comes through the door should feel that, oh my God, like what a loving couple. And not only feel, we should feel that love and joy for each other. Then you will ensure that you do what may. You will get yourself on the same page.
I want to ask you a few personal questions about your equation.
Get ready.
What is it that comes out of Pramod which gives you the strength, the support, what you need as a woman? You're an entrepreneur, you're a leadership coach, you lead a team, you deal with people every day, you travel cities. There are bound to be moments, where you feel doubtful about yourself. What is it that you draw from Pramod as a partner that you feel is what really helps you as you navigate your way around all these roles?
This is a wonderful question. Nobody has ever asked me that. So thank you so much, Afrida. Your questions are just extremely amazing. I think the biggest thing I draw from him is his ability to tell me the truth, undistilled, unfiltered. And I think that has made him my best mirror. As gold gilded.
Where is the male ego in Pramod? Does it come into play? The male superiority, that I wear the pants? Let's be honest. Does it happen?
Not at all. I don't think we have a gender role in our relation. Honestly, there is no gender
I could see
role.
That, actually. I could
we
actually
have no
that.
male, female. I'm male sometimes. He's like there is. I don't think there's any gender role. No, you're this. Warrior.
I think these are labels that people have really infused on society. And one of the things that has held in good stead for us is communication. We're always in communication. We're always in communication. And the African saying goes with the thing that, it takes a village to raise a baby. If it's a business, it takes people to build a business. If it's a child, it takes more than one, right? So we're very clear that this is not a solo person job. So we function as a team.
But I would not believe it, Pramod, if there are no conflicts. No, not that. I'm saying I would not believe, let me finish the sentence, that there are no conflicts, that there are no, difference of opinion, that you feel disgruntled that why did Sushma have to go this way when I wanted to go this way. There must have been those
lots of it.
How do you resolve it?
There are lots of it. So when we said trust and respect, we differ in multiple things, and I mean many things.
That is where it comes in, the real game.
We communicate with love and respect, and trust. So she has an opposing view. I'm very clear. She's coming from the same place of love and trust, of the same intention, right? Her approach is different, and vice versa. So
But then who gets his or her way around most of the time?
No, I don't think it's about that. It's about it's
really
our
way.
So you are aligned. When your values are aligned, your overall objectives are aligned, so a lot of things anyway fall in place. Is that what you're saying?
I don't think any of us feel the need. I've heard a lot of, and I'm not dissing anybody, I've heard a lot of couples that, I have to say sorry, nahi to aage nahi badegi gaadi. Like I have to say sorry. Aisa nahi hai. Like it is all, there is no his way or my way.
Okay.
We come to, I know it sounds very utopian. I know it, like to somebody else it'll look like, are ye log to kuch chapa rahe. Aisa kuch nahi hai. Like I'll just give a simple instance. Just day before yesterday there was a little bit of a conflict. Something happened in the workplace and I did feel bad. So when he came home, I took a little time to gather my thoughts, and then I came and sat with him before going to bed, saying that this is what I felt, this is exactly what I felt. But giving him the benefit of doubt that he didn't do it in order to hurt me. You're getting it?
Yeah, yeah.
And that's when he clarified it.
How you approach and how
It's
you
how you
communicate
approach. It's
it.
all about
Okay.
communication. It's all about communication. At least in
Without
my
putting
perspective.
each other down or without making each other in any way feel that,
Wrong.
wronged or,
Correct.
I mean, that guilt factor. Because I feel in partnerships, one tend to feel that guilt very easily.
Correct. Correct.
That, okay, and then if there is so much of that guilt, then again the relationship suffers.
Absolutely.
If, one feels that I'm not doing right by her or I'm not doing right by him constantly, end of it, I guess that sense of failure sort of seeps in. A lot of relationships that I have seen, whereas here it's just the opposite. In a way, you've never allowed your partner to feel that guilt and you've approached it gently. Couple of last two questions
Just
I
one
want
second.
to ask.
And
Yeah.
even if you have not allowed the partner, there have been times you have faltered. There have been times you have failed. There have been maybe over the past 25 times that we made each other feel like crap once in a while. But we've gotten over it like as fast as we possibly could. There's somebody I just read the other day. I can't remember the person, but somebody actually said, I will remember the name and tell you. And they said, either you can be right or you can be kind.
Oh, that's again
So
very, very
it's a
nice.
beautiful thing. So in our case, we choose most of the times to be kind.
I think it's a long-term horizon we are on. We're in it for long term.
Yeah.
In it for long term.
There's no way out.
Yeah.
Hotel California.
It scares me to think, I'm just saying it from my perspective, that marriage itself is a lot of work. And then since you decided that, okay, we'll have another sort of partnership at work, do you think it complements or things are not like, they're two different things? Once your marriage works because it's the same set of values, the other partnership is bound to work? Or do you think there are two different strategies and you maintain totally different persona at work with your wife? This is to you, Pramod.
So-
are you a different person at work with Sushma and at home, or are you the same person?
The same person, but different structure.
Okay,
So I think one magic trick is to compartmentalize.
okay.
Right? We have disagreements in work, we leave it at the workplace. Disagreements in the office don't carry out to office.
Okay.
So we have compartmentalized our work. It's not easy.
And successfully?
It takes work. It takes an effort to do that, right? So we
Okay.
compartmentalize.
Yeah, yeah.
And I think the other thing is that we are very clear it is us against the world. So our entire approach in life is it is us against the world.
Oh, amazing.
Right?
Yeah.
So
You
there's a
have the
question of-
entire world up against you, so why would
Why
you
battle each
why
other,
battle
right?
each other? The least you can do is
Yeah.
just
So
stay
whether it's
strong
the
together.
marriage or whether it's a business venture, that's our lifeboat. It's us against the world, right? So
We
then,
can't afford to lose that.
yeah. So nothing
That's
is
the bare
worth
minimum.
battling internal, right? So then I
Correct.
think that's what we have figured out.
Can I come to parenting for a bit? Who's the more involved parent, more proactive with household, and who's the final decision maker whenever there is a difference in parenting aspect?
We switch roles.
Okay.
If I'm traveling, he is the parent in
Okay.
charge of the household.
Okay.
When he's traveling, I'm the parent in charge of the household. Remember, we work together. So at no point, and season time, both of us are not there in the city at one time. Right?
And I can see there would be an understanding flowing, because you couldn't be saying that I have work when you don't have important enough work, and Pramod knows exactly where you're coming from.
Correct.
And vice versa, right?
Correct.
Whereas if I am to tell my spouse that I have this important an assignment and you need to be the person at home, there might be a little, is it really that important?
Correct.
So with you guys, you don't have to do that
No,
explaining.
we don't.
Am I right?
We don't.
Okay.
We really
Yeah.
don't. And I don't know about parenting and taking the final decision. I think we toggle on that one as well, no?
Here's one
We
thing.
do it together.
One secret, okay?
Yeah.
When
Okay.
we had a
Which is
child,
open for
Yeah.
all now.
and he'll watch some
Now
part
you'll
time,
watch.
right?
Now you'll know.
Now you watch it, okay? Is that we long time ago realized that there'll be no secrets between two of us.
Okay.
And we will not allow a child to play one against the other.
All right. Yeah.
And kids do that because they're very
Kids
intelligent.
do that. I know.
And a smart child will do it even more, right?
Yeah.
But if the parents know that this is our understanding, that
Yeah.
we won't allow one to react to another, we take a moment out, we take a step back, we consult and we decide.
So there is never a situation where your conflict is visible to the child or your differences are visible to the child. Is that what you're saying?
They are in approaches.
You have
I
to be
wouldn't
on the
say
same
it's
page.
watertight,
No.
but the intention is very clear. So if
Okay.
we differ in opinion in front of a child, it's not with unkindness or rudeness or
All
abruptness.
right. Okay.
It's an approach. It's a process, right? But the child doesn't get to play us.
Doesn't get to play.
No.
Oh wow.
No.
Okay. Overall, when you look at your lives, what are the things that you would say, if I'm going to ask you one by one, the top three things that you feel have really worked for you at work and at home? Combined, three
Wow.
things.
Oh God, this is going to take a little time. Top three things that's worked for me at home and work. Number one, compassion. compassion for self and others. Number two, ability to let go. If things are not done, I'm no longer, it's taken some time, but now I'm no longer aiming for perfection. I'm aiming to do it as well as I possibly can at that point of time. And number three is joy. I think the excitement, happiness, joy has really worked for me, at least for me personally. I don't know about him. If my joy is working for him.
In the workplace, I think striving for perfection is very important. But you can't always be perfect, but you strive for perfection, right? And I think honesty is very important. If the truth is out over there, you aren't hiding, you aren't playing games, there's no politics. So that's very important. Within the organization, with our clients, with the vendors, we're honest, we're straight. And I think
And you are in the business of brand management and communication strategy, and you need that sort of
and
credibility.
we need that, right? And the third thing is financial integrity.
Okay.
Our clients know that we are stable, our vendors know we are stable, our colleagues know that we are stable financially, we are on board. So a lot of strength of the company comes out of the fact that we are stable financially.
Yeah.
Right? We aren't here today and disappearing tomorrow. We aren't skimming the market. So these three have worked on the business front.
One last question. Would it be any different? Do you ever think how would it be if it was someone else I had to work with, not Pramod?
I've worked with many people before.
As in, if
Pramod.
he was not the person with you at work at that level and you had to make it work with someone else, do you think it would have been far more difficult, very different, or you would still make it?
I've never really thought of it, Afrida, because I think of something that's never really going to happen.
Never occurred to your mind?
Never
Pramod?
occurred, I think.
That would have perhaps happened very early on in our careers. You know, but now it's so set in a routine that one doesn't even think about
Venture in that direction.
Contemplate.
It's not a conversation.
Basically,
one would
this
have.
was
is
meant
it.
to happen. This was how it would have happened anyway.
This is the universe we've built and we're enjoying it. Like, this is what we've built together.
We built this place, right? As in the space, our work environment, our home, is what we've created with joy and with love and,
And you
passion
can't
integrity.
imagine it possible without Sushma. That's what I was
No.
trying to.
No, I don't think so.
Sushma is
No.
more eager to
Yeah,
hear the no.
absolutely no. I don't think it would be, because the good thing is, Afrida, we complement each other. It is like truly the yin and the yang. He is the, the stronghold, stronghold, and I'm the
You're the joy, the verb.
I'm the verb and he's the noun.
Yeah.
No?
That makes it work. Well, thank you
Wow,
so
how
much.
well I said it.
You should continue your banter as we keep the cameras rolling. But God bless. I mean, thank you so much for joining us. on
Thank
Free
you.
Christian.
Thank you.